and welcome to Cooking with the Whole CSA Share. This week our guest is Anna McCabe from Simple Chef Catering. We're so excited to have Anna here. We're going to go ahead and open up week 13 CSA box.
So we've got lots of different colored beets. That's exciting.
Yay!
Oh, some heirloom tomatoes. That's going to be really exciting.
And our little saladette tomatoes.
Yes, okay, and some bell peppers. Great.
Green and purple.
Beautiful. Look at these. Potatoes. Some salad greens.
And put some, since you're the guest this week, I put flowers in the salads for all of our CSA customers. They're inspired by you and all the beautiful things you make.
Thank you. That's
like,
pretty.
I want a CSA share that's like Anna's food.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have zucchini and some cucumber. Oh, and shallots.
Yeah, they get fresh shallots this week.
Now, this is very exciting because to get a shallot in this valley is very difficult. Good. And then, some chard. So that is going to be...
I like growing the smaller stemmed chard. I just think it's more like a spinach.
That's going to be delicious.
And then we've got some carrots in there too. Nice CSA box staple.
There's lots of things that come to my mind right now. As a chef, my mind is running wild.
Yay!
The first thing that pops to my mind when I see all this wonderful produce, and I know how delicious it is gazpacho.
Oh, great, Anna!
Especially with these beautiful heirloom tomatoes
They make really good
and
gazpacho.
the salad tomatoes. These are going to be fabulous. So let's talk about gazpacho.
Okay.
With you only want to make gazpacho when we have these glorious ingredients that are so fresh, okay? So if you have a negative feeling about gazpacho, let's get rid of that now, because this is going to make a great gazpacho because these were picked yesterday. Okay, this is the freshest as we're going to get. The other thing that's so wonderful about gazpacho, we don't have to do any cooking. It's so hot.
So great.
We don't want to cook. This is easy. It's fast, very quick to make. The other thing is you can actually use gazpacho as a sauce. If you don't want to use it as a soup, you can certainly put it on.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's great as a sauce.
Yeah.
So one really good is if you grill a piece of chicken or a piece of fish. Oh, that gazpacho on top of the fish is just delicious.
What a great idea.
So that...
I never thought of doing that.
Yeah. So lots of versatile things with the gazpacho. Have it for lunch, have it for dinner. Well, with all this wonderful produce, what we're going to do with the gazpacho is chop the bell pepper, the tomatoes, the shallot, and the cucumber, and put it in your food processor or blender. Okay, whatever you have at home and that's easiest.
Okay.
Also, you want to put in there a little salt and pepper to taste, a clove of garlic, and about a 1/4 cup of fresh basil. Okay. Blend all of that together or process it, whatever's easier for you. We're going to also add 2 tablespoons of sherry vinegar or red wine. Okay. Whatever you have on hand, or lemon juice is also a good substitute. Great. 2 tablespoons. When that's all blended in your food processor, we're then going to want to add a 1/4 cup of a good quality olive oil.
Okay, so we've got it in the food processor and blender.
Exactly. And how we do that is we're going to slowly pour in the olive oil through the feed tube. Okay. If it's a food processor, if you have a blender and it has the hole, pour it through the hole as it blends. Just really, really slow. And that way the olive oil will emulsify into the vegetables. Okay, does that make sense?
It does. That makes more sense. And that last little step, if you ever forget the olive oil in the gazpacho, it's like forgetting to put salt into bread.
Exactly.
It's like, it's really missing something.
Exactly. The olive oil is what gives the gazpacho the body. So we need to make sure that ingredient gets in there at the end.
Yeah.
Since I'm a chef, I like things to look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So I
pretty.
did take a little of the bell pepper, a little of the tomato, and a little of the cucumber, mince it up, and you can use it as a little garnish for the top of your soup.
And I just love that purple.
It's
in there.
gorgeous.
It's so
It is pretty. Once you've blended all of this together, you want it to go into the refrigerator overnight or a minimum of 2 hours.
Okay.
Let the cooking process happen in the refrigerator. After the 2 hours or overnight, take it out, stir it, and voila. Well, I was so excited to see these beets in the CSA box. One of my favorite foods.
I'm excited to see what you do with them.
Good. So I saw the beets, and then I saw the beautiful shallot that I can't get enough of. And the first thing that came to my mind was a dish that in my family we make all the time.
Oh, great.
Okay? A little bit more involved than the gazpacho, but if you have the time and the energy, well worth it.
Great.
We do a beet and wild rice cake.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah, so yummy. And I'd like to serve that on the bed of greens. And in this case, with our box, I'd like to use that Swiss chard.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so we're going to want to chop that, get the stems out of the chard, chop it up. You can either eat it raw, or you can saute it. It's up to you.
And with that young chard, it is worth taking a little bite of it. If you're like, oh, that sounds horrible, it's worth taking a bite because it's almost like spinach, I think.
I agree. It's so tender you don't really need to cook it.
I like the little chard.
I do too. So with that being said, that's going to be our base of our cakes. Okay. We don't need to cook the beets to make this dish. But if you do cook your beets and just keep them in the fridge and they're cooked, you can use cooked.
Okay. So either way, I love that.
Exactly, cooked or raw. Tonight, let's use the raw beets.
Okay.
And we're gonna use, I think, all of these beets. Maybe not quite all of them, but why don't, if you don't mind, Mandy, being my sous chef?
Absolutely.
And we'll peel the beets.
Okay.
Mandy will peel the beets and then she'll grate them.
All right.
Wouldn't mind chopping this up too. That is going to go in our beet cakes.
Okay. And you just want that like diced?
Between a dice and a mince.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. So what else do we need for these beet cakes? Well, we are going to need some rice, cooked rice. Okay, so this is great if you have some leftover rice from the night before, possibly.
Nice.
I like to use either a wild rice and brown rice mix that they do sell at the stores around here in bulk. Okay. It is organic. Or my very favorite is an organic sticky black rice. Now that is a special order, so it's a little bit more difficult to get, but if you do have that, I highly recommend the black sticky rice. Tonight we didn't have any. We're going to use the brown rice and wild rice blend.
It looks so good.
So it's already cooked. We have it in our mixing bowl, and this is about 2.5 cups, of cooked rice. Now you can alter this recipe based on your family size. Okay, I like to make as much as possible. I'm a caterer. I'm always making large quantities of food. But not only that, in my household, leftovers get eaten. So we love leftovers. So we'll have our rice in the bowl. And then we're going to want to have a little walnuts.
Oh, great.
Okay, so some toasted chopped walnuts, about 6 tablespoons. Now, if you don't have walnuts on hand at home, I've used sunflower seeds. Use your imagination.
Like what you have.
Use what works for your family and your lifestyle. So don't feel like you have to go out of your way and try and find walnuts if you don't have any. So we'll put those in the bowl. And then about 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Okay, that's going to give it the little bit of tang that we're going to need, and it'll help bind some things together too as well. And then I like a little parsley. Now I was fortunate enough to get some local parsley, fresh parsley. We need about 1/4 cup. But if it's if you can't have fresh parsley, don't have any maybe, or it's not in season, then dried is fine.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you do use dried, we'll use less.
Okay.
Okay, about a tablespoon. But we got a 1/4 cup of fresh parsley. And that's chopped. So we'll put that in a bowl. And then salt and pepper, we're going to use about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper.
Smells good already.
And then 2 eggs. Okay, please try and use farm eggs. Those are the best. Okay, so we want to add some breadcrumbs. Now we want to add a plain breadcrumb,
Okay.
like panko.
Okay.
If you're not familiar with panko, it's just a basic breadcrumb. It's hard, and you can see there's no
It's got a nice
seasoning.
texture.
Yeah, it has a nice firm texture. We wouldn't want to use, say, the Progresso Italian style breadcrumb.
right.
That's too fine, and that's seasoned. We want something plain. Okay.
Makes sense.
Gluten-free or not, either way, that's up to you.
Okay.
And panko is a great brand that you can find in a box at our local grocery stores. Okay?
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
good.
Wow, that looks good.
that pretty?
Yeah, look at those
Is that going to
shredded
be
beets.
enough? Should I keep peeling and grating?
Let's add that and stir it in and
Okay.
see.
Just throw 'em in
Yeah, yeah.
So I got the beet hands.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, I think we will need a little more.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I love shredding.
And so I'm going to start mixing this all you have to do here is mix this with a spoon. There's no mixer involved or any fancy equipment, so that makes it nice. This looks wonderful. So Mandy, thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
And now we just need the shallot. Thank you for chopping the
welcome.
shallots. Look at this. This is just gorgeous. So the only thing we have to do is stir this all together. Okay. Once it's all mixed together, then we're going to want to form some patties, okay, or to form the cakes themselves.
This is such a beautiful color.
Isn't
Anna.
it beautiful?
And the smell. It smells so good.
So yummy. So what we'll do is you just take it in your hand and like you're making a
like a
ball.
giant burger.
Yeah, like a giant burger, exactly. And then make a ball and then just flatten it into any size cake you want, okay, as long as they're all pretty much the same. Now I have done these very small as appetizers.
Beautiful.
So, but tonight we'll make them like we're gonna do dinner. So,
I love that.
Dude.
okay.
So pretty.
And then what we're gonna wanna do to cook these is you'll, on a medium-high heat, 2 tablespoons of a high heat oil. So avocado, coconut, whatever you have at home. And then you'll saute each patty, a couple patties hopefully at a time if you have a large enough pan, for about 5 minutes per side. Okay, you want a nice little crust on each side.
Oh, yeah.
Once the patties are done, we can put them on our bed of greens. Now, this week we're going to use the Swiss chard, which is delicious. If for some reason we have another week and we don't have chard, arugula works beautifully. Okay.
Arugula.
So
It's my spirit vegetable.
it's one of my favorites, and it goes very well with this
I was
dish.
just thinking, especially with the beet flavor.
Yeah. So arugula is great, and then a little goat cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so a little goat cheese on
Goat
top.
cheese and beets is so good.
Exactly, and then the arugula or your green, it just goes hand in hand. Okay.
Is that what you do, Deanna?
Yes,
Just put them on there.
that's perfect.
And so we'll just let those cook for about 5 minutes, and then we'll flip them over.
Perfect. This is so beautiful.
Bon appetit!
Oh,
I want to talk about the Thai basil.
beautiful.
So delicious, so pretty, but some CSA holders just might not be as familiar with it.
Very
as-
uncommon, especially here.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, a little uncommon, but so smelly,
It's
so
like that
beautiful.
licorice almost. Yeah,
The
like
anise.
an anise.
So, a couple ways that we can use this. One way I like to use Thai basil is in spring rolls.
Oh,
Now that is a labor-intensive thing to make, but if any of your CSA holders make spring rolls, put the Thai basil in there. So good. Okay, so that's one thing you could do with it. Another thing is a Thai basil corn dish.
Ooh.
So take the corn off the cob, or if frozen corn is all you have, that'll work too. Roast it with a little garlic. Bring it out of the oven. Put a little coconut milk in there, and some Thai basil on top.
I never think of doing that with corn on the cob. That sounds so good.
So that's it's not a traditional Thai dish by any means, but it's those flavors go really well together.
I bet. That's great.
So, and that's simple. Anybody can do that. It's very easy. And then lastly is just curry. If you make curry at home, it is a hot dish, so it's more wintry, but I still make it in the summer because it's one of my favorites, and it's quick, it's easy. We have the zucchini, the bell peppers.
It's a good way to use up some veggies.
It is. It's a great way to use up veggies. So if you have some extra veggies laying around, not sure what to do with them, curry, at the end of the curry dish, put some Thai basil.
If anybody has not used all their veggies from last week and still has green beans, I love pan-fried green beans with Thai basil right at the last minute and then a little bit of sesame oil on it. So good.
That sounds delicious.
Delicious. Yeah. Lots of people are gonna know what panko breadcrumbs are.
But that's okay. We'll talk. We'll start over with the breadcrumbs.
Only I don't know what panko is.
It could be.
It could be. Yeah, it could be.
No offense. But
No offense.